So, in the spirit of predicting the future, like 8 months in advance, we are going to talk about the top six, I guess, lock-ins for the playoffs from each conference. Um, and I guess like maybe a mini spiel as to why you think that would be. So, it's interesting doing the six because you do cut out teams. You basically say, yeah, there's a couple of teams that would make the playoffs or probably will, but aren't in that top six category. And so, look, I didn't give it a lot of thought in terms of I reckon this team's going to be better in the regular season and this one's not. I just feel like these six teams should kind of stay consistent. So I'll start with the West. I think we predicted Golden State goes back to the finals, so obviously they have to make the playoffs to do that. Um, I guess my guess would be is that they'll finish third, fourth. I think, as I said last week, they're in that LeBron territory where as long as they're in the playoffs, they know what to do.
Are you trying to do this in random order? I'm just trying to check.
Yeah, yeah. Just get ready. It's just going to jump around.
Could we just start with who's first?
Well, I didn't rank them as first, but all right. What I'll do, I'll sort around my list a little bit, and I'll talk while I'm talking. So I'll go with my number one seed.
You do not have ample time to prepare for this deadline of this topic.
No, absolutely not. I'm going to go with the Grizzlies as a number one seed in the West. I think that they showed last season that they're able to push, they're able to get, a lot of wins on the board, and I think they're going to come back a bit hungrier. Yeah, I think Grizzlies is number one. Number two, I'm going to go with the Mavs. I just think Luka Magic, if he's having that MVP season that I potentially could see out of him, I reckon they're going to do quite well. Then Golden State at three. This makes sense for continuity of the video. I'm going to give credit to the Suns. They have been in the top four the last two seasons. There's no reason why they shouldn't, regular season-wise, achieve a top four ranking again, playoff failings aside. Fifth, I'm going to go with Timberwolves. I know that it contradicts my Timberwolves might be a top four team, but they might be just there on the fifth. And sixth, I'm going to go with the Nuggets. Obviously, getting Jamal Murray back and Michael Porter Jr., along with the fact that Jokic is also on the team and they made the playoffs last season. I think it's pretty safe to guess them. On to you.
Yeah, that's some interesting takes there, man. Look, I guess I ordered my list here. I had a quick think about it. You're absolutely right there. This list is quite hard. There's teams here that obviously, you think, there's two more spots here for the play and obviously to make the playoffs. And there's names or teams on this list that it was hard to figure out where you would want to slot them. Okay, so my six here, obviously, firstly, I've got in the first seed here the Clippers. All right, I've got the Clippers coming out hot and grabbing the first seed in the West here. Okay, and we'll talk about, we break that down a bit more later. I've got second seed here with the Warriors. Okay, and that's probably the only take that between me and you we've got. Oh, actually, one more that's quite similar. All right, I've got the third seed here as the Nuggets. Okay, obviously Denver, I think definitely have been able to finish in the top sort of four, even when not everyone has been healthy. So hopefully, again, as we talk about every week almost, predictions, health is so critical for a prediction to ultimately come true. Then I've got the fourth seed, which is the Suns, which is probably the only one that we've got that's matching that in the same spot there. Then in the fifth seed, I've got the Pelicans. Obviously, again, health dependent that they're getting their full unit available for, say, at least a 3/4 of the games there to be able to get into that 45 to 50 win sort of bracket in a sense. And then the sixth seed here, I've got the T-Wolves. So obviously, yeah, I think they'll probably avoid the play-in this year, not have to sort of play those one or two critical games there. But I think to sort of break down yours, and I guess you can obviously break down mine in a second, that you've got the Grizzlies finishing first. I was like, wow, man, and you're like mind blown because like I actually don't even have them in my top six. I think there's probably going to be some regression here, okay, for the Grizzlies this season, and they can go out there and prove me wrong, right? All right, because firstly they've gotten weaker. Okay, they've lost a couple of key rotation players there, all right, on the bench there with Kyle Anderson leaving. Okay, and I don't think they're. I think they had a really good season. Okay, I think their players should make the playoffs. Okay, but I don't. having to pick 6 teams here, obviously I had the Grizzlies off my list there too. I actually have the Mavs off my list there too. Okay, and that was probably a little bit, well, I don't know, one way or another. They've got Christian Wood, but they lost Jalen Brunson. They're going to have to integrate these new players, and I think JaVale McGee as well, obviously coming in this year. Okay, and it's all Luka centric. That's the key. Yeah, again, look, if Luka has, and you play can have a real great season, again, will they squeeze in the top 6? Probably. Okay, possibly. But you've got them as a second seed there, man. You got a second seed, second best record in the West there. I'm feeling that's a little bit of a stretch. But obviously the other 4, I guess we agree on, just a bit of a different order.
What's, when you were mentioning your list, I was like, oh yeah, Clippers, right? So Clippers, if they're healthy, they're definitely a strong contender in the West. If the Lakers somehow figure it out, they might slip back into being that 6, 7, 8 seed. It's a fun topic, I think, because you could ask a lot of different people, and to get the same order would be really, really difficult. I'm not going to scrutinize you too much. At least we agreed on the Suns making it the top 4, so that's a win.
That's a win. Is it?
Yeah.